There is no question, Arnold Palmer is my favorite. I'm an Arnie fan. I'm a member of Arnie's Army. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to focus on Arnold Palmer. Got some great stories to share, but also we're going to look at that swing for the ages, how unique it is and how you can learn from it. Plus, we're going to hear from Arnie himself about maybe the most important lesson you'll ever learn. Man, in his early years, he had these broad shoulders, these thick forearms, thick wrist, and he went at a ball so hard, he made this great shoulder turn like this, then just fired down through the ball, hit it with those hands, and he had to hold on, otherwise he'd just snap hook it out of the county. So he'd come through there and go, whoa! Palmer used to say, swing your swing. Try to take the best of what you've heard, the best of what you've learned, and it's your swing. You're not 6'3" like Tom Weiskopf. You're not short like Rory McIlroy with this great strength and suppleness and where your hips can make an X with your swing line. No, you can't do that. But you get your swing. Make it consistent, make it repeatable. Arnie didn't have a sweet swing, unlike his drink, the Arnie sweet tea and lemonade. He had a powerful swing. But despite the uniqueness of his swing and that whirly bird finish, there was one thing about him that was basic and fundamental, classic. That was his grip. Arnold Palmer had one of the best grips ever. He put that left hand strong on the club, the right hand on top, covering the thumb there, and then the pinky finger over the forefinger, just the classic grip. You've got to start with a great grip. Learn that from Arnie.
My father, when I was about 6 years old, put my hands on the golf club, on the grip of the golf club. He looked at me and he said, "Boy, don't you ever forget that or change it. The basic fundamental is to put your hands on the club properly."
But what made Palmer unique was his dad gave him a great grip. Then he taught him to hit the ball hard. That was Arnie's philosophy. Hit it hard, it'll go somewhere, find it. Hit it again, hard. What gave Palmer such incredible power was this, his shoulders. His shoulders turned. What a huge, huge shoulder turn Palmer had. And when he got back here with those powerful forearms and wrist and ripped into a ball, nobody ever hit the ball like Arnold Palmer. Not Jack Nicklaus, not Tiger Woods. When Palmer hit it, it sounded like the ball exploded. It started off low and would climb. Just a gorgeous, gorgeous, awe-inspiring swing. The shoulder turn and the power of Arnold Palmer, unique to him. But you need to learn from that. Try to get more and more and more and more and more of a shoulder turn. The more shoulder turn you have, the more power you will also have. Thanks, Arnie. A lot of words describe Arnold Palmer, but one word comes to my mind. That's love. Well, you don't think of the word love emanating from Arnold Palmer. You think about his fans. We all loved him, but he loved his fans. He had more respect for his fans than any golfer, professional athlete, entertainer. Do you know Arnold Palmer annually, get this is absolutely true, Arnold Palmer annually spent $250,000 replying to all of his fan mail. Individual answers to every single one. I have 2 letters from him that are hanging in my office. One congratulating me when I retired from broadcasting and went full-time into this golf instruction and so forth. And then the other one on my 75th birthday. Who takes time to do that? Arnold Palmer loved his fans, but he also had an impish sense of humor. The writer, Bob Drum, and you saw him on the CBS TV broadcast, but he was more famous as a writer, and the drummer was for the Pittsburgh paper, the sports writer, when Arnie was just breaking through, and he wrote about Arnie all the time, built him up as this superhero. Arnie gets approached early in his career to write his first instructional book. Well, Arnie is not going to sit down and write it all out. He didn't have that kind of patience, despite the fact he wrote to all of his fans. He calls the drummer and he says, Bob, he says, I want you to do something for me. He said, I'm gonna sit down and talk to you, give you all these ideas and so forth, but I want you to write the book for me, just do the work. So, and Palmer got like $5,000 at that time for that book, and he gave drummer, I think $500 to write the book. And then sometime later, drummer, who was a very enthusiastic golfer, was playing his club championship and just wanted to win it so bad, and he figured, if I could just pick up a couple of ideas, tips from Arnie that'll help me, and I'll win this thing. So he went to Arnie. He says, Arnie, he says, you owe me. He said, I need some advice on the golf swing. You know, Palmer said to him, Bob, read the book. Bob, read the book. So Arnie's impish sense of humor, but what a man. So full of love, but also he had such a great understanding of the fun of playing golf. He helped us so much in understanding this, the position of the head in the golf swing. Arnie just focused on that fundamental. You know, if you move your head off, what are you going to do? If you move your head, well, Arnie, what's going to happen?
Watch my head. Now just imagine what is going to happen. The club doesn't know where it's going. It's wandering all over the place. I'm going to hit back here, or maybe I'm just going to do that. Position of the head, right here. Now watch what I do. Got my chin up. Watch my left shoulder as I take the club back under my chin, and the club falls right back in the position I want it. As I come back through, keeping my head in a good position, you will see that my right shoulder is pulling my head off onto the line that I want to hit the golf ball.
One of the best things that you can do if you're trying to keep your head steady is hit the ball with your head right here with the dotted line and keep it there for the count of 2 or 3. In other words, hit it 1001, 1002, 1003. Gosh, that kind of looks like Trevino and Palmer, doesn't it? So let's do it and see if we can be repeatable, come from the inside and keep the head still and watch the ball, that count of 1001, 1002, 1003. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Also, if you've got a comment about this program, about Arnold Palmer, if you want to share your favorite Arnold Palmer story, please do. If you have an idea about a new episode, comment below. We'll get right back to you. Now back to Arnie. Keep your head steady, just like Arnie. Keep that in place, most especially not just before you strike the ball, but at the ball, and then through the ball. Most people lift their head as they hit the ball. They go like that. Keep it here all the way through the swing. I mentioned about playing with Palmer. What fun that was. First time was an exhibition in Denver, Colorado. Played with Dave Hill, Keith Listiak, who was the head pro at the club where we played. Exhibition, 15,000 people. I remember I was so nervous I yanked the ball way left, but we came to the 3rd hole, and it was a par 5. The second shot, if you were going to hit it, was over lake, but all of us laid up. Palmer hit it the furthest. So Palmer looks at the shot. He'd never played the course before. There's this big lake in front of the green, and it was about a 260-yard carry in the air. That's back in the days of persimmon woods, persimmon fairway woods. And Palmer goes, Dave, talking to Dave Hill, what should I do? Dave goes, do, you're Arnold Palmer, go for it. So Arnie grins, takes out his 3-wood, makes that massive shoulder turn, rips the ball It climbs and climbs and climbs. 15,000 people, including me, were like this. Oh, and it just clears the water, bounces on the green, and we, yay! It was like he'd won his 5th Masters instead of just his 4th. Arnold Palmer loved people and was loved by people. Meanwhile, I'm disappointed in Arnold Palmer. You know why? I was covering the United States Open at Oakmont. You know, that's Arnie's backyard. He lives in Latrobe. He would fly a helicopter in, land it there, get out of the helicopter, and people would gather out. I'd ask him as a favor if he would let me do an interview at his place in Latrobe. And he said, sure, come on. It was so delightful. He took me into his shop, and he's got pictures askance with him with about every president there was up to that time, starting with Eisenhower and the Prime Minister of Japan. And they're just hanging like this, like that. He just slaps them up there. And he had these big barrels full of clubs. He loved to tinker with clubs. And we're talking, he's showing me around. He says, come on in my office, I got something for you. I go, ha, ha, ha. This is gonna be great. He had just come out with a Palmer Peerless driver. I thought, Artie's gonna give me a Palmer Peerless driver. I felt so good about it. I'm going, wait till I show up on the range. And I go, boy, Bob, that's a new driver. That's a good looking driver. Yeah, Arnie gave it to me in his office. Arnie opens up his desk. He says, here, Bob, I want you to have these. Give them to the crew. And he hands me these little collar clips that you stick in. It was the umbrella. Remember the umbrella, the emblem of Arnold Palmer Enterprises and so forth, a little gold that you still don't go. Oh, thanks, Arnie. Thanks a lot. Never did get that Palmer Peerless driver, but I still love Arnold Palmer and our lifetime friendship because it was something very, very special. I told you that when I retired from broadcasting, the only person besides Larry Nelson who sent me a note or anything was Arnie. And treasure that.